Hi, everyone. Come on in. Uh, Hi, come on in. Hold on. Let me get over here so I can see what the hell I'm doing. And then I can know there's Laura Cornfield. I haven't seen her in a while. There's some people waiting till Sarah gets here and then Sarah will take over. Thank you, Jesus, for Sarah. Thank everyone. Thank Jesus for Sarah.
I'm here. I'm just under our AFT Zoom, so I'm already a co-host.
Got it. Oh, you are?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't need to make it.
I've got it.
You are awesome. Okay, great. Hi, everyone. Come on in. Come on down. Come on in. And Sarah will continue to let people in, and we'll give it just a minute as people pile in here. Okay, so I had 2 auditions this week. I just want everyone to know because I wasn't really able, the coaches got on there and started looking at your stuff. So I can't just do it by myself. I'm just way too busy. So I had an audition today for Carmen Cuba. Yay. Like all my clients are always trying to get in for Carmen Cuba. So that was good. Yay me. So that was good. That was fun. That was a cute little part. It's a little thing, but whatever. It's Carmen Cuba. That's why I did it. And then I had an audition on Monday for I think I turned it in. I forget when I turned it in for a reoccurring guest star. So that was fun. It was a really good role for me. So I've been like busy as an actress, which is awesome, always awesome. Plus doing this challenge, plus all of my clients. And so it's, it's not an excuse, but I'm just telling you that like, if I'm not on there looking at your homework, it's because I've got a lot going on. So I want to help you all get a good agent or a manager this month. That's what's most important to me, or at least make the effort to do so. So here's the thing. Some of our clients have very good relationships with agents and managers. A lot of our clients actually have good relationships with their agents and managers. And frankly, they don't really need anyone else on their team right now. But one of the things I said in our mastermind yesterday with our clients was, go ahead and do it because there might be a relationship for you in the future, right? Like sometimes you'll meet an agent or a manager and they're not your agent and manager for a number of years, right? And so I think what's really important, because today we're going to talk about expectations. So I think what's really important is that the first thing you did was write down what you have that's worth money, is basically the list that you made. What you have that's worth money. Now you have to go write down what you think your expectations of an agent should be. Now, here's the one that's going to blow your fucking mind. So fasten your seatbelt. Your major expectation should not be that they sell you. Did you hear what I just said? Because that's what you think it is. And it's not that. This is where we've been sold down the river, and this is where we've been fire hosed and gaslit more than any other profession in the world with what we're supposed to do to be a working actor. The number one thing that you should do always is look for acting work. Sell yourself to people that are going to actually pay you to work as an actor, with or without an agent. Now, I know you guys. I know you guys are going, well, it's not going to be that way for me, Valerie. I'm going to go get an agent. Some of you, right? I'm going to get an agent. Okay, let me just say this. I have worked with thousands, literally thousands of actors, and I've been an actor my whole freaking life. And that is just not the truth. If you want to be a working actor, then you must go out and look for work. So I would just tell you what I can tell you about what the clients heard yesterday. I don't want to get anyone in trouble, but every coach that works for Actors Fast Track is a working actor, and they were clients of mine. And then they were trained in my 5-step system. And then they started taking on their own clients under the banner of Actors Fast Track. Right. So one of those coaches, was never coached by me. She was coached by me on the bigger sense that she was in the mastermind and she had me as the overall voice of Actors Fast Track, but her coach was another coach. Well, now what happened was that girl that's a coach for us, Jessie, is producing a film, and she got lists with major people attached, and the producers sent her the list of who they wanted to see for certain roles. And on that list was, well, I'll tell you, on that list was Brian Coffey, our coach that coaches for us. Right. And so he got the job because she's the producer. She said, oh, well, we'll just cast him. I know him. Well, how did he get on that list? He got on the list by following along with me in the last 10 years of his acting career and putting himself out there, even when he didn't want to, even when he thought he wasn't a good enough actor. I mean, I've been through everything with him as a client and as a coach and as a friend, that he thought all these things. And now he just booked a big giant guest star on a big giant NBC show. And he's done guest stars on This Is Us, The Deuce. I mean, he has reoccurring on major shows. Like, his resume is like jam-packed, y'all. Right? And so he did that by reaching out. Yes, does he have agents and managers? But let me tell you, I'm going to tell you this story at the Summer Games, but I just want you to hear this story now. I did a show called Workaholics. I was a reoccurring character, Aunt Cindy. And in one of the shows, they wanted me to show my tits, which, of course, no one ever asked me that. So I'm like, yeah, sure. And so what I didn't know was that you were supposed to have, the patch, whatever they're called, the nipple covers, well, I didn't know that. And so I came out there with my nipples showing, and I don't really give a shit, like, really serious. Although my mother said that's why I stopped doing Disney. But anyway, that's a whole nother discussion. But anyway, so, there was a big famous star on my episode, and we became friendly. And it was a woman, and she said, they didn't give you the pasties, that's it, pasties. And I was like, no. And she goes, girl, you need to call your agent. Well, by this time, I'm like in my 50s, I think. Right. I'm like, okay. I mean, the Teamster said I had nice tits. I was like, that's all I need. Like, someone my age, so I called my agent. My agent was walking into a play in Denver Theater Center to see one of his clients. He walked out of the theater to take my call. And then the next day when I got to set, the producers had a big bouquet of flowers in my, and I got like some extra stuff and things, right? Right. So like, that's what your agent does, right? Your agent takes care of you and makes sure that you get paid, and make sure that you get paid what you're supposed to get. Make sure that the check is, yes, they submit you, but very, 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 very few of them actually pitch you now. They don't do that. Now, like, that's to say, if you're with a big agency, like, you're with one of the big three, if you don't know what those are CAA, WME, and UTA. Those are your three biggest agencies. You don't need to be going around to any of those agencies. The only reason you ever need to go around to those agencies right now is if you have over 2 million followers on TikTok, and talk to me before you do that, right? And, or, you already are getting really big roles, and you are real, like, there are some exclusions, but just don't even think about that, because there really isn't. That's not where you should be. Where you should be is just a person that gets the breakdowns or spotlight and can submit you on roles, and is good at negotiating, no SAG rules, and has a presence in the business. Someone that when they submit you, because what you have to understand is that the submissions, as I explained yesterday, are all automated, right? So what happens is now they're getting like 3,000 submissions per role when they used to get like 500. And so they have to look at like pages and pages of headshots. So a lot of times what they do is they build relationships with agents that they're going to call. Like Courtney Peldon at Aqua in Los Angeles is one of those agents. And she represents like 7 of our clients or more over the past 10 years we've been in business. And by the way, just because she does that does not mean that if you use my name, it's going to help you get an appointment, because she doesn't think like that. She thinks like this. If she has a hole in her stable and you fill that hole, you're going to get a call. And if you get a call, most likely you're going to get signed. That's Courtney Peldon at Aqua. But here's what she did. You see, she was ahead of the game. She saw the exponential change coming and she twisted. See, what happened is, like a few years ago, 4 years ago, Sony dropped Actors No Access. It was a big deal, you guys, right? It was the first time that a major studio, or no, it was Fox, not Sony, it was Fox. Fox dropped them, right? So all shows of 20th Century Fox were not on the breakdowns. So then they went back to them, just so you know, and I'm not going to go into the whole story of why that happened, but I'm just saying that she saw what was coming down the pike. So she built a relationship with all the casting directors, and the casting directors now call her, especially for co-stars and things like that. The only difference between like United States and the UK is really politeness. And that's even breaking down in the UK. I love watching all you guys that are sweating your asses off and like not being as civil as you were before, which is really good, I think, for you. I'm just gonna say, I like it on you. But you know, it's the same thing. I mean, like I've had plenty of clients that in the UK that have pitched themselves and had very good fortune. Denny, are you here? Let me see if she's here. Denny, are you here? Is she here? I want her to do her, I'm going to have her come and do her pitch for you. You guys have to hear her pitch. It's really, really, really quite good. So what I want you to do is I want you to make a list of what your personal expectations are for the agent that you're looking for, or the manager that you're looking for. What do you want them to do for you? And what kind of person? I mean, if you want to get really like vision behold, then write down what kind of person. You know, I've had a plethora of gay men and women agents, and one maybe hetero male. So I don't think I do so good with those guys necessarily. No, that's not true. I've had 2 hetero males. I was with one of the guys I was with the longest was a manager. I was with him for over 5 years, and he was heterosexual. You know, like when you're bringing someone on your team, you have to think. So, you know, a bunch of my team members have assistants. I mean, a bunch of my clients have assistants, right? Because I told them to get an assistant, and they need an assistant as part of their business, right? And so when you begin to hire people in your business, whether it's an agent or an accountant or an attorney or a hairdresser or even a stylist. So like I had a client that came to me, and she, and anyway, long story short, like she had a very certain brand that was really good, that we came at that and really took her to the next level, or got her a big manager. She had her first pilot season, was very exciting. And then she came to one of my events, and I was like, wow, Ellie, her name's Ellie Smokler. She's got a great look. But I was like, you look great. She said, I hired a stylist. And I thought that really is a big deal, because when you start living into your brand, right? And so think about your company like that. Like, what are you doing in your company? I'm, like, what is the revenue streams? Like for me, my early revenue streams were like in the early days, I did physical theater and stuff like that. So I spent more money than I made. But then I got into regional theater and commercials. So those were my revenue streams, right? And then I went to LA and I got into TV and film. I started doing film in New York, but then that's all I did in LA. And then it's commercials. And then I moved back to New York right before the pandemic in 2019. And I immediately got with my commercial agent, and I now started booking back with them, because I wasn't with them in LA. And then I'm also I just did a film. And so I'm beginning to develop my relationships here, because I was gone for 16 years. So I have to redo that. And it's not my major interest right now. It's not what my focus is. My focus is on you guys. And it literally is, because I've been doing this my whole life. All right. So anyway, what I want you to make a list is your expectations. And I don't want to say much more than that, because I want you to write whatever you think they are. I'd rather like pull you back than push you up and say, no, I don't think, if I'm telling you something's not a good thing, I'm going to tell you why I think it's not a good thing. I mean, I know as much about business as I know. I don't have an MBA in business, but I've been in this business for 10 years and my acting business. And so throughout that, I learned the things and watched the things that work and don't work. And now more than ever, you have to be really clear that your agent is, let me just tell you, hold on. I wrote something today that I thought, right. Yeah, so my agent made sure that I got paid, and he made sure that I got the nipple covers, right? Like, and those things, right? And then I was the person that got the job, though, because I had sold myself, right? So I'd already been in relationship with the casting director and building my relationship with the casting director. And also I'd met a lot of people in the comedy world, because that's the world I was in. So it was easy to fit in with the boys on Workaholics and feel like I belonged. I got to improv with Jack Black. Pretty cool, right? Yeah, that's like the king. So yeah, so I got that job. Does that make sense? Okay, who has a question? You can raise your virtual hand. Mick, oh, Andre. Hi.
Sorry.
That's okay. Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Setting up my camera so it don't look so crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, all right. So my question was, I did the homework assignment from yesterday.
Yeah.
And you left me a note on Facebook, which I appreciate. You said that you would be able to identify my type better.
Yeah. So I feel like you're what is typical. Like if I start working with someone, it's like you come with a lot of, here's the thing. And here's the thing we've been talking about the last 2 days. You can, right now more than ever, you can only sell one thing. And when you come at people with multiple things, it's like, they're not hiring that right now. They're hiring you. They're hiring your personality. They're hiring like this persona that you put out there, but also flaring in the character that is most likely to sell the quickest. So whatever is the quickest path to cash for you. And it might mean sometimes when we brand and we start really, because like, yeah, Andre, I mean, like all your material looks great. And I'm sure that you have some good pictures. Do you have some like red carpet pictures?
I have something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
But they're older in my opinion. So it's like I was trying to keep everything more. So what I'm doing is I'm working with Real Arc in New York.
Yeah.
And they're gonna shoot me a scene where I'm gonna play like a page and a half of a cop. And he was doing something different, but after we talked, you said keep it very specific. So I was like, I don't know if I should do it, but it was gonna be something where it was a little bit more deadpan comedy. Maybe a male and female, but no red carpet pictures.
You're in New York, right?
I'm in New York.
And you booked a lot of co-stars?
Yeah. And I have some good like parts that I put together. It's about a minute and a half.
Okay, good.
MT.
And what have you been mostly playing, like cops and stuff?
I played a pimp in the FBI Most Wanted show, but then I played like the lead in one of those reenactments. And then with like the commercial stuff, it's been the best friend. It's been
So you've done a lot of commercials, right? If I remember right.
A whole lot, like 13 of them bad boys.
Yeah. So I think that okay. So here's the thing. Hear me out. Are you married to New York?
I'm not married, no.
Okay. So just is what I want to say, that you might want to spend some time in some other markets as well. Like think about that, or at least like all of us right now need to think as a global actor and what that means to us. So a lot of people ask me, like someone did yesterday, do I need an agent in every port, so to speak, right? And I have clients that have agents in every port, and then I have one. So I think it's about the person being really clear. That's why this expectation thing is really important, you guys, because you need to be really clear what someone that works for you, what are they doing and when are they going to get it done by? Right? So you got to be really, really, really clear about that. So, basically, we need to talk at some point off this. I would just love to talk to you about what you're selling, because I can tell you're selling a lot of things, and there needs to be just this. It needs to be congealed into one story right now. Does that make sense?
100%. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we'll talk. Just reach out to Sarah. She'll find a time for you to get on my calendar and we'll have a conversation.
Sweet. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Yes, Renee.
Howdy.
Hi.
Hey, nice to meet you. And thank you for this series. It's like really, it's so refreshing.
Where do you live, Renee?
I'm outside of New York. I moved out of the city a couple of years before the pandemic, and just about an hour out of there. So
where do you live?
I'm in Ocean Grove, New Jersey, on the Jersey Shore.
Yeah, our best friends live in Wanamasa.
Oh my God, that's around the corner. Yeah, no, it's awesome down here. And since everything went virtual, it's really not been a hassle at all. But I do miss auditioning in person. I'm not going to lie.
I know. I do miss that too. Like today I went to spin class in West Orange. That's where I go to spin class. Anyway, and the girls are like, oh, I have to go. I can't walk because I have an audition, because I was talking to Angela, our girl Angela in London at 9 a.m. And so I had to get like dressed up for the audition and stuff. So I was like, I got an audition. They're like, oh, you're going? I'm like, no, it's at home, but I have to put it on tape. And and it's like, it's just not the same.
It's not, but I mean, there are pluses and minuses. Like it really forced me to get more involved in film and TV work. And my agent's been kind of pushing me in that direction as well. And I love it. I really, really love it. I love the nuance. I have a very theatrical background. So this has been like kind of a pleasure, a learning experience. But my question for you is vis-a-vis, since we're talking agents, at what point, and I've had a manager before, at what point do I really think about concentrating on getting a manager. I'll give you a brief snapshot of like what's been up with me. So my agent has like stuck by me for, I don't even know, I can't even tell you how long I've been with her. She's great. She's very loyal. She gets me good auditions, but I really want to next level it. And I feel like I've got the credits and the connections to do it. But just talk to me a little bit about like, because I'm kind of looking at this whole.
All right. So what I just want you to do is this expectation list. I want you to write what you would want, like in your dream, if you had a manager that came on, what would that manager do, say, and be? Okay, so start there because you need to be really clear. And then I can help you go, well, that's a big of an invitation. Like, you know, sometimes we have to separate that and we go, and sometimes it takes us a while to, someone can tell you what their strengths are, but then you have to learn, like, you know, because like what's important to me is communication. You know, the fact that he took my call when he was walking into see a play of his clients to talk to me about my nipple covers, right? Like that's like what you want, right? And so, or like when one time they called me at like 9:30 at night, your call time tomorrow, 6 a.m. Like, no, it's not. And that's a forced call and they have to pay you for that. Right. And so then you just turn it over to your agent. That's what you want an agent for, right? So a manager is someone, I assume, that you want to have someone that is more about the trajectory of your career.
Yes, very much so.
Right. So be very clear about that because there's a lot of agents and managers that are doing exactly the same job.
Yeah. Yeah. And in my experience, I had that. And I'm like, why am I double paying? Why am I paying two people for the same scope?
Well, that's how come I got rid of my manager.
Uh-huh.
My manager was bugging me to get an agent because he's not legally supposed to negotiate in California, Mike. And I was booking everything under the sun.
Right.
You know, and so he was like having to negotiate. So he's like, so he forced me on Craig, and Craig's the best. I've been with Craig 15 years now.
I've met Craig. He's a really great guy.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Right.
Cool. Like he's my agent and like he's my, 15 years. So so a manager is someone that can talk about the trajectory of your own career. What I would like to do is have a conversation with you about how you can do that for yourself. Probably more effectively. And then if you start doing it more effectively for yourself, you will get a better manager.
Yeah. Or I'd even take Reinvigorating my agent to like, you know, because there was a point in my career where I was getting called back for everything and they were all like major league things. So, you know, ebbs and flows, whatever. I've been very grateful for the longevity. Like, how do I get her to get like really excited about like,
yeah. Well, sometimes it's not about doing anything to her. It's about doing it to you.
Gotcha.
Because if you put like, so here's the thing. I just had this conversation with someone this morning. Like when you have to step to the next level in your career, there's always a new set of skills you have to learn. Right. And some new people you have to hang around with. And generally you have to lose like 10 pounds. I'm just, I don't know, like, you know, I do. And then maybe get a new outfit, you know, like you have to level up, like, right. Level up. Yeah. So every time you're thinking along that line, like you got to go, oh, okay, what do I need to do to level up to this?
Well, on having me do like, she wants me to do doctors, lawyers, professionals, which I totally get, but I don't want to just be doing Law and Order SVU, you know, no. It's time for you to level up. Right. I don't want to be limited to just like, you know, these dramas
that's your decision, not an agent or a manager's. So if you take direct action with you will change the chemistry of the agent and manager, either for the good or the bad. And if it's for the bad, you get a new one. But like no connection to whether I have them or I lose them. It's just as long as they're doing the job I need them to do. And when they're not, get rid of them or fix it. I mean, you know, I don't, you know, but like, you know, but all of these are lessons in how do I build a solid business relationship. So I think you just have to get really clear. I personally would say you seem like a really smart chick that I would love to just teach you, get my hands on you and teach you how to run your business,
Yeah.
because I think that you could just be a powerhouse. You remind me a lot of like Helena Bell. She was one of our first clients at Actors Fast Track, and she got a recurring on Orange is the New Black.
So,
And then, yeah, and then she was booking everything, and it was like all in Atlanta. So she just, and that's where she's from, and she was always with Stewart in Atlanta.
mhm.
And Stewart is different, like depending on where you are, because they're all over the United States. But she was with them in Atlanta, and they were great in Atlanta.
Wow.
And she's now booked. She books everything. She was in, well, the Hillbilly Elegy, boo. But she was in that, which is like a good part. And
That's
so,
awesome.
yeah, I'm gonna go see where the crawdads sing. One of Sarah's and my really good friend has a really big part in it.
Oh, very
So
cool.
we're gonna, yeah. So it's she plays the mother of the boy that gets killed.
Ooh.
For you guys that read the book, and go see it this weekend and on the stand. And her name is Jerry Tubbs. And she, by the way, if you are in Atlanta area, and even if you're not, she teaches Ivana Chubbuck method. And she is fully blessed by Ivana Chubbuck to teach her method. So if you ever want to check her out, we love her. Jerry Tubbs. Tell her Valerie Hubbs sent you. But she's great. If you guys don't know Ivana Chubbuck method, it's a really, really good method for auditioning and really booking stuff on TV. It's helpful. There's a lot of great classes out there, you know, and we can talk more about that. We're out of time, and I have a client coming on. And Alex, my client who's coming on right now, I'm going to end this and then I'm going to restart it. Okay, Alex?
Okay.
So I have a session now with my client, Alex. Say hi, Alex.
Hi.
Yay! And all right, you guys. So I'm going to stop this. We'll get the recording out to you. Go write that list of expectations. Thank you, Renee. Laura, I'll call on you tomorrow. And clients that have your hands up, I'll call on you tomorrow too. All right. All right.
Bye.
Have a great day, guys. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.